name is Julie Parker. My mother's parents were both raised in Sacramento. They were born elsewhere, but they relocated here as children. My parents were both born and raised in Fort Bragg, but they moved to Sacramento when I was very little so he could attend McGeorge Law School, and so that's where my brothers and I grew up. My great-grandmother, Annie Joseph, lived in Sacramento in the late 1800s. Her family owned a quarter of a block on P Street. Annie's brother Albert, at age 17, was the first to operate the bridge that swings out on the Sacramento River. He also burned their house down playing with matches. Annie met my great-grandfather, Robert Weybright, in Somerset. After moving a few times, including to Nevada, they relocated to Jamestown, where he began his training as an engineer for the railroad. In 1912, when he got a job with Southern Pacific, they returned to Sacramento along with their daughters, my great-aunt Flo and my grandmother Lucille. Robert would take Flo to the railroad roundhouse. She was a real tomboy and always wanted to ride the rails, which involved riding under the car, facing downward, with arms and ankles hanging over a bar. Robert wouldn't let her, but the guys around the roundhouse told her that when she was tall enough, they'd let her, which they did, but just around the yard. Robert and Annie lost 2 children to illness, one to whooping cough and the other to diphtheria. In 1918, the Spanish flu epidemic hit. My grandmother, Lucille, wrote down her memory of that. Many people died, but my mother was the only one who got it. I remember how she lost her hair. She used to have so much she could sit on it. It was never the same. We all had to have gauze masks. I watched Mother sew masks for children. At the end of the day, everyone's mask was very black. My mom wouldn't let us play with our friends, and all we could do was sit on the front porch. A number of our friends died, and neighbors too. A funeral parlor was across the street from us, and I used to sit out front and watch one funeral after another all day. I was only 9 years old. As a result of the overwhelming and unprecedented medical services required during the epidemic, Sutter Hospital opened in 1923. Lucille enjoyed her teen years, attending every dance and social event. She graduated from Sacramento High School in 1928 and became the head showgirl at the Senator Theater until the crash of 1929. My grandparents, Oliver and Lucille, met while attending Sutter Junior High School. They married in 1931 and lived long enough to celebrate their 70th wedding anniversary.